When this woman saw a little girl stealing food from her shop, she decided to follow her to find out where she was taking all of her loot. When she saw who the girl was bringing the food to, she couldn't do anything but cry. Shirley Jones, the owner of a local grocery store, had been a part of the community for many years. She knew most of her customers by name and often enjoyed striking up conversations with them. Before closing time, she ensured that foods nearing their expiration were placed in the charity bins at the front of the shop, providing a source of nourishment for those in financial need. She recognized the regulars and always treated them with dignity and compassion. One afternoon, Shirley noticed a young girl cautiously approaching the charity bin with 2 empty bags. The girl seemed hesitant, almost as if she believed she needed to steal the food. After glancing around nervously, she began filling her bags with some of the produce. Shirley scanned the area, looking for an adult who might be with the girl, but saw no one. Since the little girl looked frightened, Shirley approached her with caution, and with a big smile on her face, she spoke in a soft and tender voice in an effort to put her at ease. First, she inquired what her name was, but the shy girl just lowered her head and did not give an answer. Then Shirley asked her where her parents were. The girl pretended that she did not hear the question and just continued to fill her bags with food items. All that Shirley could do was assure the girl that she was welcome to get some food and that she could ask for help if she ever needed anything. Without a response, the little girl ran off, her precious goods tucked safely under her arms. The image of this young and distraught girl did not leave Shirley's mind for the rest of the day. That evening, she rolled around in her bed thinking about her. She knew that the girl needed help, but if she acted in a pushy way, she could spook her away and probably lose the chance to provide any meaningful support. So she made a vow to silently keep an eye out for the girl. It was almost with a sigh of relief that she noticed her the next day at the same time, following the same ritual as the day before. Shirley had promised herself she wouldn't interfere but couldn't keep her word, so she devised a plan. She asked her shop assistant to look after the store and try to follow the girl home. She waited in her car and was able to follow her at a safe distance. It was clear that the girl was all on her own, as nowhere during her journey home did she speak to or meet up with any adult. Shirley was able to follow the girl by car until she disappeared into a dark alley. It was time for the shop owner to continue her pursuit on foot. The area that they were moving through was not so nice, and it looked both dirty and dangerous. The girl just kept on walking, swinging the bags in her arms as she made her way to whatever place she called home. She even had to cross a crop field before she entered the house. In fact, it wasn't a proper house, but rather a garage that must have served as a house. The girl entered the building and left the door ajar so the shop owner was able to peek inside. It took Shirley a while to try to find out who was with the little girl. To her surprise, there was no mother, father, grandparent, or any other adult waiting in the house. Instead, the girl seemed to be the head of this household. She was taking care of her little brother, and she also had a puppy dog that seemed to be sick. This poor girl was taking on the responsibility of taking care of her family all on her own. Shirley was still trying to process what she just observed when the little girl spotted her and quickly slapped the door closed. When Shirley spoke outside the door, the girl first ignored her. The shop owner assured her that she did not want to do them any harm, but that she was there to help. The little girl remained skeptical, but after another few moments of hesitation, she slowly opened the door. She begged Shirley not to call the police, and the compassionate young woman assured her that she would not do that. When Shirley entered the garage, she only saw the little girl. She asked her what had happened to the boy and the dog, and suddenly the girl started crying. She begged Shirley not to take her brother Ryan away from her and told her she had promised her mother that she would look after him. The girl identified herself as Angela and introduced the dog as Duke. At first, she was hesitant to say anything else, but Shirley skillfully led the conversation so that Angela could start relaxing and share some important information. What the little girl told her was enough to break anybody's heart. Angela explained that her mommy and daddy were now with the Angels. 2 weeks earlier, she and her brother were playing outside when their house caught fire. They did not understand what had happened. But then, The fire truck came and tried to extinguish the fire. Soon after, an ambulance took her parents to the hospital. They never came back. Someone known as Mrs. Green had told them that the police would come and get them because of the way their parents died. It was then that Angela became scared and decided to run away from home. They found this garage to live in, and Angela was glad that she found the food bins at the store so she could look after her brother and their dog. By this time, Shirley had to push back her tears. How was it even possible for such a young girl to carry this much responsibility? Also, she could not understand how the adults in the story had not been able to assure the children that whatever happened to their parents wasn't their fault. Thankfully, Shirley was able to convince Angela to come with her. The little girl only accepted the offer after the shop owner promised that she would not split her up from her brother. She would do everything in her power to keep Angela and Ryan together. She even promised to take Duke to a vet to make sure that he was healthy. When Angela was sure that she could trust Shirley, she called Ryan. He appeared from a dark corner of the garage, holding the sick dog in his arms. They walked back to where Shirley's car was parked and accompanied her as she drove directly to her house. Can you imagine the shock and disbelief on her husband Josh's face when she arrived home with two strange children and the sick dog by her side? Josh thought the best course of action would be to call the police, but Shirley told her husband that she had made a promise to Angela and that, this time, she was not about to go back on her word. They made contact with a social worker who arranged that the two abandoned children could remain in their foster care for the time being. Fortunately, the police were satisfied with the arrangement. The next 2 weeks were a strange yet exciting time. Shirley got to know these two precious kids and became painfully aware of the trauma they must have gone through. She scoured the internet and all social media in the area to look for an alert of the two missing kids and their dog, but to no avail. What she could confirm at this time was that Mrs. Green was an elderly neighbor who had no relation to the kids and was unfortunately not in a position to take care of these little orphans. It also did not seem that there was any family looking for them. Years earlier, Shirley and Josh had given up hope of having children of their own and had already begun working with a social worker to explore adoption. Now, they found themselves caring for this brother and sister duo and doing an exceptional job. Under their loving care, Angela and Ryan thrived, and even Duke, the dog, made a full recovery. Something changed in the hearts of Shirley and Josh. Perhaps this meeting wasn't a coincidence but destiny, bringing these children into their lives so they could become their new parents. 2 weeks later, their decision was clear. There was no turning back. Shirley and Josh began the process to officially adopt Angela, Ryan, and Duke the dog. Although the adoption took time due to its unique circumstances, the journey eventually led to the creation of a new, loving family. Angela would never again have to shoulder the immense responsibility of caring for her little brother, Ryan, or searching for food to sustain her small family. Now she had loving parents who could provide for all their needs. The attentiveness of a shop owner had saved the lives of 2 young orphan children and their dog, while also giving Angela the family she had always dreamed of. I'm really keen to know your thoughts on this story, so please don't hesitate to share your insights in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and found it engaging, I invite you to subscribe to our channel for more similar content. Feel free to share this video. Take good care of yourselves, and I'm excited to connect with you in our future videos.